Ever had someone tell you no, a door slammed shut in your face, a dream seemingly shattered? Instead of wallowing in self-pity or anger, what if I told you that rejection could be your greatest ally? We're diving into the world of Stoicism, guided by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, to reveal how rejection can actually propel you toward success. Rejection is not a failure, but a redirection. It's not a sign of weakness, but an opportunity for growth. Section 1. The Stoic Mindset on Rejection. What Marcus Aurelius teaches us. This great Stoic emperor taught us that external events hold no power over our inner peace. Rejection is merely an opinion, not a verdict on your worth. It's a fleeting judgment, often based on subjective criteria or circumstances beyond your control. Instead of internalizing rejection, the Stoic response is to recognize its ephemeral nature and refocus on what truly matters: your character, your values, and your unwavering pursuit of personal growth. Rejection can also be a valuable teacher, illuminating areas for improvement or revealing paths you may not have considered. Instead of dwelling on the sting of rejection, embrace it as a catalyst for self-reflection and refinement. Analyze the situation objectively, learn from the feedback, and adapt your approach accordingly. Remember, every successful individual has faced rejection along their journey. It's often a stepping stone to greatness. Rejection can serve as a powerful motivator. When someone doubts your abilities or dismisses your ideas, use that skepticism as fuel to propel yourself forward. Channel the sting of rejection into unwavering determination, proving the naysayers wrong and exceeding even your own expectations. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not roadblocks but opportunities for growth, and rejection is no exception. Rejection can help you refine your focus and priorities. It allows you to reassess your goals, discern what truly matters to you, and realign your efforts accordingly. By shedding the weight of external validation, you free yourself to pursue your passions with renewed vigor, unburdened by the opinions of others. Ultimately, rejection is an inevitable part of life. Embracing it with a Stoic mindset empowers you to transcend its perceived power and emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Remember, it's not about avoiding rejection altogether, but about learning to navigate it gracefully and using it as a stepping stone towards personal growth and fulfillment. Turning obstacles into opportunities, every no you receive is a chance to reassess, to refine, to come back stronger. It's a stepping stone on your path, not a stumbling block. It offers valuable feedback, highlighting areas for improvement and revealing hidden strengths you may not have realized you possessed. Instead of dwelling on the initial sting, view rejection as a compass guiding you towards a more fulfilling direction. Each no you encounter builds resilience, a crucial trait for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. Like a muscle strengthened through exercise, your ability to withstand rejection and bounce back with renewed determination grows with each encounter. Embrace these experiences as opportunities to forge an unyielding spirit that refuses to be deterred by temporary setbacks. Remember, rejection does not define your worth or potential. It merely reflects the opinion of a single individual or a particular set of circumstances at a given moment in time. Your value is intrinsic, independent of external validation. Instead of seeking approval from others, focus on living a life true to your values, pursuing your goals with unwavering passion. Rejection can open doors you never thought possible. By forcing you to explore alternative paths, it may lead you to unexpected opportunities and hidden treasures you might have otherwise overlooked. Sometimes, the closed doors we encounter are simply detours, leading us towards a more fulfilling destination. Finally, remember that rejection is not a sign of weakness, but a natural part of the human experience. Even the most successful individuals have faced countless rejections throughout their journeys. By reframing rejection as a learning opportunity, a catalyst for growth, and a stepping stone towards your goals, you can transform it into a powerful tool for achieving success and fulfillment. The power of choice. You can choose to let rejection define you, or you can choose to learn from it and use it as fuel for your ambitions. The power lies within you. Each no presents a fork in the road. One path leads to self-doubt and despair, the other to growth and resilience. By choosing the latter, you reclaim your agency, turning a potential setback into a catalyst for positive change. Remember, rejection does not dictate your worth or limit your potential. It's merely a temporary obstacle, a test of your resolve. Instead of succumbing to discouragement, embrace the challenge. Analyze the reasons behind the rejection, identify areas for improvement, and use that knowledge to fuel your drive for success. View rejection as a valuable lesson, a stepping stone towards your ultimate goals. It can reveal hidden weaknesses, highlight blind spots, and offer insights that propel you towards a more fulfilling path. By learning from your mistakes and adapting your approach, you can transform each no into a yes further down the road. Moreover, rejection can ignite a fire within you, fueling your ambition and determination. When faced with adversity, many individuals discover a newfound resilience and unwavering resolve to prove their doubters wrong. Channel that energy into your pursuits. Let it drive you to work harder, smarter, and with greater passion. Remember, the power to overcome rejection lies within you. You have the ability to choose how you respond, to learn from your experiences, and to use them as fuel for your personal growth. By cultivating a Stoic mindset, you can transform rejection from a source of pain into a powerful tool for achieving your dreams. So, the next time you encounter rejection, don't let it discourage you. Embrace it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and ultimately thrive. The choice is yours. Section 2. Practical strategies for harnessing rejection. Analyze and adapt. Don't just shrug off rejection. Examine it. What can you learn from it? How can you improve? Use it as a springboard for innovation. Rejection offers valuable feedback, often revealing blind spots or areas where you can enhance your skills, knowledge, or approach. Take the time to analyze the situation objectively, dissecting the reasons behind the rejection and identifying any recurring patterns. By understanding the root causes, you can develop a targeted plan for improvement. Perhaps you need to refine your communication skills, bolster your expertise in a particular area, or adjust your expectations. View rejection as a course correction, guiding you towards a more effective strategy. Rejection can spark creativity and innovation. When faced with obstacles, we're often forced to think outside the box, to explore unconventional solutions, and to push the boundaries of our comfort zones. Embrace this opportunity to challenge your assumptions, experiment with new ideas, and ultimately discover novel approaches that lead to success. Remember, rejection is not a static state, it's a dynamic process that offers valuable insights and potential for growth. By analyzing your experiences and adapting your strategies, you can transform rejection into a powerful catalyst for personal and professional development. Consider seeking feedback from trusted mentors, colleagues, or friends. Their perspectives can offer valuable insights and help you identify areas for improvement that you might have overlooked. By actively seeking feedback and embracing constructive criticism, you demonstrate a willingness to learn and grow, which is a hallmark of resilience and determination. The key to harnessing the power of rejection lies in your ability to analyze and adapt. By embracing a growth mindset, learning from your experiences, and continuously refining your approach, you can turn setbacks into stepping stones, transforming rejection into a powerful tool for achieving your goals. Build resilience. Rejection is a muscle. The more you encounter it, the stronger you become. Embrace the discomfort, for it is forging your character. Just as physical exercise strengthens your body, facing rejection builds resilience in your mind and spirit. Each no you encounter becomes an opportunity to practice perseverance, to cultivate a thicker skin, and to develop the mental fortitude needed to overcome future challenges. By actively seeking out situations where rejection is a possibility, whether it's applying for a new job, pitching an idea, or asking someone out, you intentionally expose yourself to discomfort. This might seem counterintuitive, but it's a crucial step towards building resilience. It's in those moments of vulnerability that you discover your true strength. Embrace the initial sting of rejection, acknowledge the disappointment, and then use it as fuel to move forward. Each time you pick yourself up and try again, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, adaptable, and ultimately, unstoppable. Remember, rejection is not a reflection of your inherent worth, but a test of your character. It's an opportunity to demonstrate your grit, your determination, and your unwavering belief in yourself. By facing rejection head-on and refusing to let it define you, you forge a character marked by resilience, courage, and unwavering self-confidence. Building resilience through rejection opens up a world of possibilities. When you're no longer afraid of hearing no, you're more willing to take risks, to pursue your dreams with greater boldness, and to ultimately achieve the success you desire. So, the next time you face rejection, don't shy away from it. Embrace it as a challenge, a chance to grow, and an opportunity to strengthen the muscle of resilience within you. By doing so, you'll discover that each rejection brings you one step closer to achieving your full potential. Focus on your circle of control. Focus on your circle of control. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your response. Choose to rise above negativity and focus on your own growth. Stoicism teaches us the importance of differentiating between what lies within our control and what does not. We cannot control the opinions, decisions, or actions of others, but we can choose how we react to them. Instead of dwelling on the negativity of rejection, focus your energy on what you can influence: your attitude, your efforts, your self-improvement. By shifting your focus inward, you reclaim your power and agency. You refuse to let external circumstances dictate your emotions or derail your progress. Instead, you choose to view rejection as an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn, adapt, and become a better version of yourself. Remember, your response to rejection is a reflection of your character. By choosing to rise above negativity, you demonstrate resilience, maturity, and emotional intelligence. You set an example for others and pave the way for personal transformation. Focusing on your circle of control also allows you to direct your energy towards productive actions. Instead of wasting time and emotional resources on things you cannot change, invest your efforts in self-improvement, learning new skills, expanding your knowledge, and building a stronger foundation for future success. By focusing on your own growth, you gradually become less dependent on external validation. You realize that your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by your own values, principles, and actions. This newfound self-reliance empowers you to pursue your goals with unwavering determination, regardless of external circumstances. Focusing on your circle of control is a key tenet of Stoic philosophy. By recognizing the limits of your influence and choosing to focus on what truly matters, your own growth, your values, and your actions, you create a life of greater resilience, inner peace, and lasting fulfillment. Use rejection as motivation. Use rejection as motivation. Channel that sting into determination. Prove the doubters wrong. Show the world what you're truly capable of. Rejection can be a powerful fuel for ambition. When faced with skepticism or dismissal, use that energy to ignite your drive and prove your doubters wrong. Harness the initial sting of rejection and transform it into an unwavering determination to succeed. Rejection can also serve as a reminder of your true potential. Often, it takes an external challenge to awaken the dormant talents and abilities that lie within. When confronted with adversity, you may discover a newfound resilience, a hidden reservoir of creativity, or a burning desire to exceed expectations. Use rejection as an opportunity to demonstrate your worth to the world. Let it fuel your passion, sharpen your focus, and propel you towards your goals with renewed vigor. Show those who doubted you that their assessment was misguided, that you are capable of achieving great things. By channeling rejection into motivation, you set a powerful example for others. You demonstrate the strength of the human spirit, the ability to overcome obstacles, and the unwavering belief in oneself. Your story becomes an inspiration, a testament to the transformative power of resilience and determination. Remember, rejection is not a final verdict, but a temporary setback. Use it as a springboard to propel yourself to new heights. Embrace the challenge, channel the negativity into positive action, and let your achievements speak for themselves. Your response to rejection defines your character and determines your trajectory. By choosing to use it as motivation, you transform a potential stumbling block into a stepping stone towards a more fulfilling and successful life. Section 3. Real-world examples. Famous figures who thrived on rejection. Famous figures who thrived on rejection. From Oprah Winfrey to Steve Jobs, history is filled with individuals who turned rejection into resounding success. Oprah, once fired from a news anchor position, used that setback as fuel to build a media empire. Steve Jobs, ousted from his own company, returned years later to revolutionize the tech industry. These are not isolated incidents, but a recurring theme in the stories of countless achievers. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by numerous publishers before finding a home and becoming a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination, only to create a world of wonder that continues to enchant generations. Even Abraham Lincoln faced repeated political defeats before ascending to the presidency. These individuals did not let rejection define them. Instead, they embraced it as a challenge, a motivator, and a testament to their resilience. They understood that setbacks are not the end of the road but signposts pointing towards alternative paths, sometimes even greater ones. Their stories serve as powerful reminders that rejection is not a measure of one's worth or potential. It's merely a temporary obstacle, a test of character, and an opportunity for growth. By studying the lives of those who have thrived in the face of rejection, we can learn valuable lessons about perseverance, adaptability, and the unwavering belief in oneself. These stories also challenge the notion that success is a linear path. In reality, it's often a winding road filled with unexpected twists and turns. Rejection can be a detour, a redirection that leads to a more fulfilling destination. By embracing the uncertainty of life, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and unexpected triumphs. Ultimately, the stories of famous figures who thrived on rejection serve as a source of inspiration and hope. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to rise above, to learn, to grow, and to achieve our dreams. How rejection sparked innovation. How rejection sparked innovation. Many groundbreaking inventions and ideas were born out of rejection. It forced creators to think outside the box, to find new solutions. When met with resistance, visionaries like James Dyson, who faced over 5,000 prototypes before perfecting his revolutionary vacuum cleaner, didn't surrender. Instead, they used rejection as a catalyst, refining their ideas and pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible. Similarly, the Post-it note, a ubiquitous office essential, was initially dismissed as a failed adhesive. However, its creator, Spencer Silver, persisted, eventually finding an unexpected application that revolutionized how we organize and communicate information. Rejection, in this case, spurred the birth of a multi-billion-dollar product. Even in the realm of entertainment, rejection has often served as a launchpad for innovation. The Beatles were turned down by multiple record labels before their meteoric rise to fame. Their initial rejection fueled their determination, leading them to experiment with new sounds and styles that ultimately redefined popular music. The stories of these innovators illustrate a crucial point. Rejection is not a dead end, but a detour, a redirection that can lead to breakthroughs and unexpected discoveries. When faced with obstacles, creative minds often find new ways to approach problems, leading to innovative solutions that wouldn't have emerged otherwise. Rejection can also serve as a filter, separating the truly groundbreaking ideas from the mediocre ones. By weeding out the weak concepts, it forces creators to double down on their most promising ideas, refining them until they're truly exceptional. Rejection is an inevitable part of the creative process. By embracing it as a challenge, an opportunity for growth, and a catalyst for innovation, you can transform setbacks into stepping stones on the path to success. Remember, some of the world's most groundbreaking inventions and ideas were born out of rejection. What will yours be? Conclusion. Remember, you are not alone in experiencing rejection. It's a universal part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to be a negative one. By embracing Stoic principles, you can transform rejection from a painful setback into a powerful tool for personal growth and achievement. So, the next time someone tells you no, smile. Thank them for the opportunity to prove them wrong, and then get back to work, armed with the knowledge that rejection is not the end, but merely a new beginning. 2024 is the year you harness the power of rejection and turn it into your superpower. It's the year you embrace the Stoic mindset, recognizing that obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones on your path to success. It's the year you cultivate resilience, determination, and unwavering self-belief, using rejection as fuel to propel you forward. This year, let go of the fear of rejection and embrace it as a catalyst for growth. Remember, every no brings you closer to the right yes. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger than before. By reframing rejection as a positive force, you unlock the power to achieve your wildest dreams. So, step into 2024 with confidence, knowing that rejection is not a sign of weakness, but a badge of honor. It means you're daring to put yourself out there, to strive for something greater. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and never give up on your aspirations. This is your year to rise above rejection and create the life you've always envisioned. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content on Stoicism and personal growth.